who served with the 6th Marines during Vietnam. I remember when he showed up on the doorstep around 1972, wearing his uniform and a green and red rope around his shoulder. And I thought to myself, this is a cool guy. He served his community throughout the state of Georgia in their school system. And fast forward to January last year, he succumbed to the effects of Agent Orange and the cancer it brings. I think about the first person God used to help me transition from active duty to Clayton, a place God chose for my wife and I to continue our final, most important mission of raising our children. He sent a Vietnam warrior named Ken Parker. Ken served our veteran community with all his heart and soul. And every time Ken came upon a Vietnam veteran, he always said to each of them, welcome home. Ken taught me to remember what his generation experienced from our American citizens. 2 years ago, on June 7th, because of the same exposure, I prayed for Ken while he lay on that hospice bed in his home. Ken took his last breath 24 hours later. But I am excited to see Orange County and its leadership assembled to remember the Americans who came before us and stood in the gap. Your presence at this moment reveals the hope that many more Americans will be willing to serve our nation again and answer the call as Isaiah answered the call. Who will go for us? And who can I send? And Isaiah answered, here I am, send me. And one thing I've learned during the last 43 years, since the day I earned the title Marine and then 13 years from active duty, love lives forever. Love isn't a story with a happy ending. Love is a story with no ending. This is the reason why we have an official day set aside to remember, honor, and celebrate our veterans that transition from this life to the next. But why are we so seemingly willing to fight? And if need be, to die? We fight because we believe. Not that war is good, but that sometimes it's necessary. The words of our philosopher John Stuart Mill said it best. He said, war is an ugly thing, but not the ugliest of things. The decayed and degraded state of moral and patriotic feeling which thinks nothing is worth war is much worse. A man or woman who has nothing for which they are willing to fight, nothing they care more about than their own personal safety, is a miserable creature who has no chance of being free. Thomas Jefferson once said, the tree of liberty from time to time must be refreshed with the blood of patriots. It is a harsh reminder from time to time we must remember that the cost of freedom that we too often take for granted is the loss of someone loved one. And as we honor those who have died in service of this country, we understand they no longer hear our words. They no longer feel the pride that wells in our hearts, nor comprehend the honor we bestow on them for their sacrifice. Yet, there's something compels us to act as if they understand. Memorial Day symbolizes a time Americans take a clear look at both